Now I've made a video on the 7 exercises I would do in my home workouts to hit the entire body. However, this video is the 5 minimum exercises I think you should do, lasting you only 30 minutes in case you're looking to save on some time. And for fun, I have both the dumbbells with body weight and resistance bands versions if you'd like to take a look at each. Now before we jump into the exercises, here are some tips and tricks in order to make sure you're doing this workout properly. First off, you're going to do 1 to 3 sets per exercise in the traditional fashion of doing one exercise for all of them and then moving to the later ones. Now the less sets you do, the shorter the workout is. However, the only reason you'd want to do less sets is if you're able to take the exercise to momentary muscular failure in the positive or contracted phase of that exercise. If you're not able to do so, or don't feel like you actually reached failure, make sure you do another set and a third for max, but really the intensity will matter, so for each set that you do, make sure you're doing your best to try and reach that failure point. Now for each rep, they should last about 6 seconds, so a 3-second concentric and 3-second eccentric. Think of it as lowering and raising a weight for 3 seconds in each direction with a slow change of direction at each end. Now rest between sets will be 60 seconds for each one of these exercises. No changing there, just keeping it nice and simple. Now if you have enough intensity in these workouts, you only need to work out every 3 to 4 days. So maybe 2 with a max of 3 times per week. Really just go by how you feel. If you think you're ready to go, then do another workout. However, the minimum you need to rest between each one of these workouts is at least 1 day. And with that, let's jump in and hit the 5 exercises to work our entire body. Again, sorry calves, as you're just not in this. So the first one is going to be the squat, targeting the quads, and I'm actually going to do it with my hands down by my sides. Feel free to add straps to dumbbells if you're having trouble gripping the dumbbells themselves, but I also am using handles with my resistance bands in order to make this a bit more comfortable. Exercise number 2 is going to target the back with the chest supported row, so you will need a bench, or the seated row with the resistance bands. The reason for the chest supported row or seated row is really to help remove the lower body from being a limitation in the exercise. Because we did do squats before this, some people may feel that the lower body is taxed a bit, so then I'm going to just sit on the ground or use the backrest for my chest to do this exercise and really get the back to do the majority of the work. Exercise number 3 is going to be the seated overhead press or standing overhead press, depending on the equipment you use. The target here is going to be the shoulders, but the triceps will probably get involved quite a bit as well. If you're standing, you'll also have to stabilize through your core, but I really like to do this seated with dumbbells as I'm really focusing on the shoulders doing most of the work. So stabilization actually takes away from you being able to move the most amount of resistance. So that is why I'm trying to limit that, but with resistance bands, you do need to be standing. Alright, exercise number 4 is going to be the chin up if you're using body weight, or the, what I call a chin down, really just a pull down with supinated hands if you're using resistance bands. This is targeting the lats. Of course, the back is also involved as well, and your biceps will also be targeted very heavily when supinating your hands or having your palms facing towards you. That means we get both the lats and the biceps all in one easy movement. So now our 5th and final exercise is going to be the floor press, whether you use dumbbells or resistance bands. And the main target here is the chest, and by using dumbbells and handles for the bands, we're actually able to do something the chest does, which is adduct the hands closer together at the top range of motion. Don't fully lock out the arms, but leave just a little bit of bend in those arms and trying to contract the chest throughout the entire range of motion. Now, if you don't own dumbbells that are heavy enough to fatigue you or get you to fail within the rep range, which is about 5 to 10 per set, then I recommend actually doing push-ups, and if push-ups are too easy, then adding a backpack with weight plates in it. So that is it on the 5 exercises in this workout program. For a quick recap, we have the squat, chest supported row or seated row, the seated or standing overhead press, the chin up or chin down, and finally the floor press or push up if that is too easy for you. And a final tip here is you want to pick a weight where you're failing each set between 5 and 10 reps. So you start at the lower range of 5 and you work your way up to 10 in that first set. And then you're going to restart by adding more weight to where you're only able to do 5 again, and you repeat the pattern. Again, only adding sets as needed. If you feel like you didn't reach failure or you had to stop early, then is the only time you add another set. Otherwise, you don't really need it. And as a bonus, add in those calf raises if you have an extra minute or two to do so. They are one of the body parts that aren't targeted very well with the 5 exercises chosen. So again, if you have 2 minutes to spare, throw in those calf raises. And of course, you can add a lot more to this if you'd like. I'm simply giving you what I think the average person could easily do in 30 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week, to really build a good body overall. Of course, there's other factors such as what you eat, how much protein you intake, your sleep, water, all those play a factor, but this is just a simple program that anyone starting out can use and then enhance in the future. Now, I do have my starter 7 exercises I think everyone should start with, which is on the GamerBody website, but I also have a video here on screen for you if you'd like to check it out and see if that is a better option than this video.